The idea was, when the network was founded, to create an opportunity for different capacities in different German universities and institutes to link up together to create a stronger output and also to have better communication with the public as to the results of our research on particular areas, and also to reinvest in knowledge about other areas, in particular the region that we are looking at, which is the area between South Asia and Central Asia. Well, one of the innovative aspects, I think, in the network was that we decided to look at interaction between the regions. So what we wanted to do is to move away from a previously defined understanding of areas as what they call closed containers to an understanding where an area, a region, is more defined by interaction between the people and institutions of a particular region. So I think that is in line with a dynamic process we are currently witnessing in terms of globalization, in terms of economic interaction, but a process which is also very much present in cultural, social interaction, in migration, in many other forms of interaction, and which also has a historical dimension. So in that sense, we can benefit from a different perspective on defining areas. In a way, I already mentioned the different perspective that we move away from looking at borders which were drawn by political considerations and where particular territories and regions were aligned by political allegiance, whether belonging to this or to that nation state, to this or to that political camp, a way to clustering of real interaction between people, because this redefinition and the post-area definition does not mean we are moving away from having areas or from having regions. It's just that regions can be understood in many different ways, and we have a certain changing, varying density of social interaction between institutions, between people, which then forms clusters, which then forms cores of a particular area and regional interaction, so that we can better understand where is actually the dynamics and where is the direction of what is taking place in these regions. Well, I think the challenge is that we as academics should not shy away from communicating with the public, so that we should basically be ready to go and answer questions. There is a saying that goes, there is no trivial question, there are only trivial answers. And we need to be able to first understand that these phenomena, these terms, are very complex phenomena. There is not just one perspective to it, and we need to be able and to help the public to unpack these phenomena. That is, to explain that they consist of different layers, different perspectives, and one is not exclusive to the other. That is, you can have an area and yet you can be closely connected to your neighbors, which from another perspective belong to a different area. There is no contradiction. We all live in a network or in several networks of simultaneous references at the same time, where religion and social mobility and physical, spatial mobility interact in one way or the other.
What do you think?
I think also to that question there is not just one answer, because we have seen and witnessed that journalists who are asking this question are fairly well informed about the developments in those countries. However, the news organizations for which they work, whether they are private or public, are often driven by public debates and by certain commercial demands, which then regulate to some extent and filter to what questions they want an answer and to what they don't. And we can and should take the time to basically point to more complex situations and keep fighting for providing more time for clearer answers to these complex phenomena. So I can't say it's really a positive development or a negative development, but there are always people and institutions who are ready to provide space for explaining the situation, and we should support them.
Thank you for this interview.